Hi, I'm Nicole and welcome to my first full project video. In this video, I'm tackling a project that's been on my list for a while, completely transforming a small, awkward closet into a functional and stylish built-in storage space. This closet had so many hidden, unusable areas, and I knew there had to be a better way to maximize every inch. So I tore it down to the studs, installed an IKEA PAX system, and added custom details like wood veneer doors and a unique accent wall with an arch. It was definitely a learning experience, but the end result is something I'm so proud of. If you're looking for closet inspiration or a fun DIY project, you are going to love this one. So let's get started. The first step in this project was clearing out the closet. I actually love this part because it gives me a chance to purge and donate things we no longer use. Once everything was out, I had a blank slate to work with and a better idea of what was ahead. Time for some demo. I started by removing the existing hanging rod and shelving. I used my trim puller to take out any extra trim. The most satisfying part of demo was tearing out the drywall that created those hidden spaces. This really opened up the closet and gave me a sense of how much space I could actually use. Once most of the drywall was down, I moved on to removing the framing. I used a reciprocating saw to cut through any nails holding it together. But before doing this, I made sure the wall wasn't structural, which it was not. If you're not absolutely sure if your framing is structural, hire a professional to look at it and determine if it is structural. Since I wanted to use every inch of this closet, I also removed the drywall from inside of the closet. This was quite possibly the easiest demo ever. I couldn't believe this sheet of drywall came off so easily. With the framing out, I was ready to install the IKEA PAX units. I've used this system in other areas of our home and love its flexibility and accessories. The built-in drawers are especially great, and making them from scratch would have been way too time consuming. To make the units sit flush with the front wall, I installed 2x4s on the back wall, securing them to the studs with construction screws. This also made it easier to anchor the units in place. I used three 2x4s, one at the top, one at the bottom, and one in the middle for extra support. I've never had much luck with battery-powered stud finders, but this magnetic one works great. It locates the stud by finding the drywall screw that secures the drywall to the studs. The new PAX units assemble slightly differently than the old ones, but once I figured it out, the process went quickly. The accessories and interior setup are still the same. Since the new PAX units are designed to be assembled in place, I built the first two inside of the closet. When I said I wanted to use every inch of space, I wasn't kidding. I literally bought units that fit exactly in the closet opening. For the third unit, I had to assemble it outside and then squeeze it into position. It was a tight fit, but after a little convincing, all three units were in place. To secure the PAX units, I anchored them to the 2x4s that I installed on the back wall and to the floor. To secure them to the floor, I screwed a 2x4 to the subfloor and then screwed the unit to the 2x4. Since I'll be adding trim later to the front face of these units, I wasn't worried about the screws being visible. With the frames installed, I moved on to the accessories. I chose drawers for the bottom and hanging rods for the top. Two of the units came as kits, so I just placed everything where it made the most sense for functionality. After assembling and installing the drawers, I added the doors, and just like that, the closet started to look like a closet again. From the start, I knew I wanted to add an accent wall on the adjacent side to tie everything together. I designed a quick plan and decided to soften the space by incorporating an arch. To prevent the arch from encroaching on the closet space, I used 1/4 inch oak plywood. I created a simple jig to draw the arch. I started by drawing directly on the plywood to locate my cut lines. I then came back and applied painter's tape to the cut lines. The painter's tape will help prevent tear out of the plywood. Once the painter's tape was down, I came back and drew another arch line on top of it. For the outline of the arch cut, I cut through two pieces of plywood. I clamped them together and cut the arch using my jigsaw. It wasn't a perfect cut, but since I've never used a router for this type of project, I stuck with what I felt comfortable with. Once I was done with the large cut, I unclamped the two pieces of plywood and cut the inside arch out of just one piece of plywood. I wanted to carry the trim detail above the closet to the arch. This should make better sense once you see the arch installed with the closet. Using wood glue and clamps, I secured the arch piece of trim to the plywood. I added edge banding to the raw edges of the plywood that would be exposed before I stained and sealed the full arch piece. Once the arch was done, I could not wait to get it in place and see how it looked. I used my oscillating multi-tool to cut out a space for the outlet and then placed it against the wall. I used shims to help level it and brad nails to secure it to the wall. I located the wall studs and made sure I was nailing into the studs. This is the point where everything really starts to come together, and I was excited to move on to finishing the doors next. For the doors, I decided to apply a wood veneer to create a high-end look. This was my first time working with veneer, and I definitely learned a few things. Before applying the wood veneer, I gave the doors a light sanding to rough up the surface. I used 4 foot by 8 foot sheets of red oak veneer with a paper backing. I cut the veneer slightly larger than the doors using a utility knife. I originally chose contact cement to adhere the wood veneer to the doors. In hindsight, this wasn't the best choice. It took forever to cure, smelled terribly, and required turning off the gas in the house for safety if I applied it indoors. Next time, I would use a cold press veneer adhesive instead. After letting the contact cement cure for 24 hours, I cut off the excess wood veneer. On the ends, I discovered it was easiest if I clamped a piece of wood on the underside and used a utility knife to cut a nice straight line. Now you get to see just how bad the wood veneer looked after 24 hours of curing. Using an edge band cutter, I trimmed the excess on the sides of the doors. I honestly didn't know if I could even save the doors at this point, but I knew I wasn't willing to give up just yet. I grabbed my sander and did my best to clean up my mess. It surprisingly worked really well. I gently sanded the wood veneer using 220 grit sandpaper, making sure to not apply too much pressure. Now that mess was behind me, I added red oak edge banding to the sides, top, and bottom of the doors. This will give the illusion of solid wood when the doors are closed. I finished the oak veneer off with my favorite water-based stain combination. I like to apply it with a latex glove and a baby sock. With water-based stain, I only apply as much as I need, making sure it looks uniform as I apply it. I then finished the doors off with 2 coats of a water-based poly. Once the poly was cured, I reinstalled all of the doors and made any necessary adjustments to the hinges. My vision for this closet is finally coming to life. To dress up the doors, I added thin oak wood screen molding. I had to be mindful of the thickness so that the doors would still open easily. After testing different placements, I settled on installing the trim 3/8 inch in from the door edges. Since the trim was so thin, I used a hand miter saw instead of my power saw for precision. Installation was quick with wood glue and pin nails. The nail holes were so small that I didn't even need to apply wood filler. Once the doors were installed, I realized that the arch's finish looked too harsh compared to the wood veneer finish. To fix this, I decided to veneer the arch as well, which meant I had to remove my shelves. I drew the arch using the same jig that I created for the plywood arch and cut it out with scissors. This time, I decided to use a cold press veneer adhesive, which means no heat is required to bond the wood veneer. I applied the adhesive to the arch plywood using a roller. This isn't the ideal way to apply wood veneer. It would have been much easier to do it before installing the arch panel on the wall. That way, I could have applied constant pressure until the adhesive cured. But since I had the panel positioned perfectly, I didn't want to remove it. I applied the veneer and smoothed it out with a plastic spackle knife. Once I thought it was all set and looking perfect, I stepped away to let it cure. When I came back, I noticed a bunch of bubbles had formed. I knew that a vertical application wasn't the best idea, but that's how I chose to install it, and now I had to find a way to fix the veneer. After doing some research, I decided to try using an iron to smooth out the bubbles. I cut vertical slits over each one to let the air escape, and then used an iron to reactivate the adhesive and press the veneer flat again. Luckily, it worked really well. Once the veneer was smooth, I stained and sealed the arch to match the doors. One of my design goals was to create a seamless look between the arch and the closet doors, which meant extending the trim work. I knew this wouldn't be easy. When I cut out my arches, I also cut an extra trim piece, hoping it would fit. It wasn't perfect, but I made it work by holding the pieces in place and marking where to cut the arch trim. It was time consuming, but it came together really well. While adding this extra trim took more effort, I feel like the arch would have looked incomplete without it. It really elevated the whole look. I love incorporating accent lighting wherever I can, so I thought it would be fun to add a small sconce above the shelving. Since I didn't want to run electrical wiring, I used a battery powered light bulb. These bulbs are actually pretty cool. They screw into a regular socket, but can be easily removed for recharging. They also come with a remote and have multiple light settings. I just love the character that this little sconce adds to the arch detail. And that's how I transformed this basic closet into a custom built-in with a beautiful accent wall. Since this is my son's room, I styled it in two different ways to show its versatility. The shelving on the arch wall is perfect for displaying his Lego car collection, and I love that he now has a functional, stylish space to store his belongings. This project was a learning experience, especially with wood veneer, but I'm so happy with how it turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments, and be sure to subscribe for many more DIY projects.